Hey there, everybody. How you doing? Al Rivera here, and welcome to the workshop series where we get customers together. This is day 2. And again, my name is Al Rivera with FollowUpDorks, and this is day 2 of Let's Set Up Your CRM Like a Pro. So this is not going to just be a talk about it, even though it is a talk about it. But this is going to be the presentation that takes you through day 2. You're going to learn about automations and setups, but we're really going to do a few specific tasks. And this will give you a really good understanding of how a CRM works. And I'm telling you, they are so confusing, but when you understand the core of how to use one and how they work, they are so simple and they could help you close a lot of real estate. It's like having robots out there who prospect for you, robots out there that follow up for you, robots out there that are keeping an eye on your entire database to tell you, hey, boss, here's a customer to call. They're ready to go. Call them up today. Hey, boss, here's another opportunity. Your CRM, as complicated and fun as that sounds, should be doing that for you while you're out there either spending time with family, you're enjoying your life, you're spending all that money you're making. Last thing you want to do is be grinding, making calls, door knock, doing all that for 12 hours a day, and you barely have time for anything else. So if you want to run a good, solid business in real estate where you're getting leads and your CRM helps you follow up, and by the way, we use a FollowUp Boss CRM, life could be really good and you could have all the business in the world that you can handle. So this is day 2. Let's get started. So the first thing is it starts with a Facebook ad. And I'm going to have an entire course on Facebook ads, but Facebook ads is going to drive traffic to your landing pages. Now imagine this, without Facebook ads, how are you getting people to visit your landing page? How are you getting in front of new buyers and sellers? I call this list of leads and yeah, come on. Those could be anybody. With Facebook ads, you could tell Facebook, for $10 a day, 20, 30, 100, 500 bucks a day, I want to get in front of this many sellers, this many buyers, this many investors, this many, probate attorneys. I want to get in front of this many expireds. Whoever you want Facebook to get you in front of, your wish has come true. Facebook gets you in front of them. You just have to pay for that. Now, all of a sudden, they see an image like this. Now, if they're scrolling through their phone, these type of images stop them in their tracks and they read your message. Okay. Are you having a hard time verifying your income and you want to buy a home? Did you know you could buy a home? Are you having a hard time selling? Are you having whatever it is you want to say to them? You have about 3 to 5 seconds to make your point. So this image with words like this will catch their attention. They will stop for a second and they will read your stuff. If you do not believe me, think of yourself. A picture catches your attention. You stop, you read. Now, one of 2 things happens at this point. All I want you to do is click that little read more, where it pulls the paragraph down. I want you to go through the photos. I want you to watch a video, or I want you to click the learn more button, or maybe even look at my profile pic. Any action that they take on a Facebook ad is a lead. Why is it a lead? Because I can retarget that person and keep showing them ads. So it starts with Facebook. This is your traffic driver. This is like putting your store in the mall. Without Facebook traffic and ads, it's very hard to get buyers and sellers in front of your stuff and get leads. Then they visit your landing page. They go to your landing page, which looks something like this. And from this landing page, they want that guide. You could put bullet points. You could put any type of offer you want on this page. The key is it has to look beautiful, has to look clean, has to look modern, has to look neat. And it's just got to say first name, last name, phone number, email, and I want to download my guide. All they got to, and we build this for you. So these are custom. They have your name, your info, your stuff. All you have to do is They fill it out. So traffic is coming in from Facebook. They visit your landing page. And out of, let's say, 100 people, let's say you get 10 leads. Okay, let's say you get 10%. Let's say you get one lead. Whatever your number is, you're going to keep track also how many people visit my page to lead ratio. Now, if your visit to page to lead ratio is very low, then you just need to improve the look of your page or improve the offer because they don't want it. They are not willing to give you their lead information in exchange for whatever you're offering, which is pretty sad. If you can't give away something for free just to get their name, email, and phone number, we need to improve your offer. But the point is, a lot of people are now visiting your page. They're going to your store at the mall, and now we're going to give them something. So this is where we give them your custom guide. So we have all kinds of different guides and templates. We have buyer guides, seller guides, investor guides, no income verification guides, whatever type of client you're trying to attract, we have a guide for them. We could even make custom guides. Some agents are like, okay, I have this great idea. I have this guide I want to put together. Here's all my chapters or topics I want in my guide. My team or our team will design that for you. You just tell us what you want in it and they can build custom guides. But anyway, they get the guide. Very simple. And guess what? Not only did they get the guide, but this is what happens next. You got a new lead. Whoa, wait. Couple things I need you to know about your lead versus leads you're buying. See, if you're going to another lead company or another whoever to buy your leads, those leads don't know who you are. You're buying a name, email, and phone number. That's why when you call those leads, they go, who are you? Why are you calling me? I didn't sign up for your stuff. Okay. When you get a new lead, remember, they've been seeing your profile pic. They've been seeing your ads every day because they like them. Remember, if they don't like what they're seeing, they will not see it. Facebook will not show it to them. So they're seeing your profile. They're seeing your ads. They've gone to your page. You know, they looked at all your other pictures and videos. They kind of like who you are. They see you all the time. They're getting comfortable with you and your content. Maybe they even liked your page, follow you. But when you get a new lead, they know who they're giving the lead to. Okay? They know who they're giving the lead to, and they know why they gave you the lead information. This is a high quality lead. Some of them will even call you just out of nowhere without any follow-up because that's how comfortable they feel with you. So anyway, you get leads. Now I had to figure out how was I going to teach CRM, FollowUp Boss. This is a big topic out. So I said, don't think of the CRM. Okay. That's why I don't really show a lot of CRM screens in this class. Okay. I'm going to show, I think, one or two. But here I just want you to think of your CRM like this. Okay. What just happened here? Let's rewind just a little bit. A lead sees your Facebook ad. They engage with it. They keep seeing it over and over and over. They click learn more. They go to the landing page. They get their guide. And by the way, even though they download the guide while they're on their social media and they put their phone away, it doesn't matter because it emails them the guide and it's sitting in their email. So they have the guide, they put their phone away. You got a new lead. Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. It does not matter. That new lead has a name, email, phone number, and it just got put a tag on it. Think of it as a label at Amazon, right? When it's in the shipping department, that package is ready to go out. Boom, it slaps a label on it. So that tag will usually say like buyer lead from FollowUpDorks. Okay, so the client's name, email, phone number, and a tag buyer lead from FollowUpDorks comes in. Then that lead gets emailed to you, but it also gets emailed to FollowUp Boss. We forward that email over to your FollowUp Boss CRM. And remember, it has a tag in it. So it knows what kind of lead, where it came from based on that tag. That's simple enough. That's a simple concept. See, a lot of people are scared that, oh, what happens when my CRM gets a lead and how's it going to know what to do? And oh, man, that label, when that lead goes through, it's going to go through one darn like airport. Think of your CRM has a new lead airport, right? Right before you board the plane, the airport's going to organize through a tag. The tag is like the seat ticket. The tag is it a buyer? Is it a seller? Is it an investor? Is it from this lead? Okay. So that email is going to get emailed to FollowUp Boss. Or if you have multiple different lead sources and all this craziness, eventually you're going to upgrade and not just email a lead in, you're going to use a tool called Zapier. And what Zapier does is it on one end, it says, I received a lead. And on the other end, Zapier triggers an activity on the other end. Like, okay, I got a lead from here. Now Zapier will say, what do you want me to do with this lead? And you're just going to say, send it to FollowUp Boss. Send it to my MailChimp account. Send it to over here. Send it to my voicemail blast. Send it to my automatic AI system. Anyway, send it to my handwritten notes. I want them to get a handwritten note. All we're going to do is keep it simple. New lead comes in, and we're going to just email that lead over to FollowUp Boss. Keep it simple. We're not even going to use Zapier. So now you got the new lead into your CRM, and it has a name, email, phone number, and tag. That's easy enough. That's easy enough. Okay. New lead comes in. It hits the airport, has a tag on it. Now, based on that tag now, FollowUp Boss is going to say, okay, new lead came in with this tag, and I'm going to show you the screen. And all leads have to have some form of a trigger, like, what do you want me to do with this lead? Now, let's say a lead comes in without a tag. There's also a default that says if something comes in without any tag on it, do nothing. Just put them in a lead bucket and do nothing. And the agent later on could add it and it'll still go in your lead bucket. It just won't have a label on it. Okay, so you're not losing any new leads. Good, I love that. Okay, whew, thank you. Okay, but we don't want it to just go in a bucket and do nothing. So remember, the lead came in, we emailed it to our FollowUp Boss. This is level 101 FollowUp Boss CRM stuff, okay? But the lead's now getting over to our FollowUp Boss system, and you're emailing. The lead is going to trigger new lead, because whenever FollowUp Boss gets a new lead, it's going to trigger new lead. Doesn't do anything else. It came in with the tag new buyer lead. Okay. And it knows the lead came from FollowUpDorks because we helped you get that lead. So it'll come in with the tag, it'll come in with the source, and it'll trigger new lead. Now, we're going to fill in a little square that says, watch this, and I'm going to take you to that screen and show you. And by the way, we're going to do this in the assignment. I just need you to see how easy this is. So you should be sitting back. You should have your cup of coffee and just paying attention right now to how easy, like I'm kind of breaking down the overall, how you should be thinking of FollowUp Boss CRM and automation and all that. Okay. So new lead comes in. And it has this trigger, it has this tag label on it, and it knows where it came from, the source, right? All we're going to do is we're going to say, FollowUp Boss is going to say, what do you want to do when a new lead comes in with this tag on it, with this label? Well, I want to trigger an action plan called New Lead Action Plan. That's cool. You could even take it to another level and call it New Buyer Lead Action Plan. Okay. And when it comes in, it's gonna put the lead in a stage. First stage in FollowUp Boss is lead. So automatically put it in a lead stage. It'll automatically shoot them a text message. Wow. It'll automatically shoot them an email. Awesome. And it'll automatically shoot you a text message with a note that says, you just got a new lead. Here's their phone number, here's their email, and here's a little note on what you need to do with this so that you don't get confused. It's a buyer, you're calling them with seller. You sound like you don't even know what's going on. It'll even put a little note where it came from and what they just downloaded. Why is that important? Because you no longer have to sit in front of your computer when you get a new lead. You could be at the mall, you could be at your kid's soccer practice, you could be sitting in the line at Raising Cane's for some chicken strips, and a new lead comes in, and guess what? You could just click on it and dial it right there while you're waiting in line. You see what I'm saying? Very easy. And you could even say, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to ignore it, but I did get a new lead. I'm getting on Space Mountain right now. Point of the story is you don't have to worry. They got a text, they got an email, and they downloaded their guide. If you choose to not call, text, that's your business. Point is now you have a new lead, and it triggered new lead automation. Next, remember I told you when a new lead comes in, every lead goes through this airport. Okay, this is what your airport looks like. So when a new lead comes in, look at what it's asking you. What tag do you want on that lead? Then it's asking you, who do you want to distribute this lead to? So if you had a team, you could, for example, say, I want it to go to everyone in the team in a pond, sort of like where it's like a who claims it first. Do I want it to go round robin, or do I want to assign these type of leads to my top producer or my top agent on the team? So you could assign it, and then see where it says action plan. You could tell it, trigger my new buyer lead action plan. Bam, save it. And guess what? Every lead that comes in from now on with that tag, that tag, that tag, that tag, you could have 10 different tags in your airport. And depending on what tag they have, that's what plane they're getting on. That's what action plan it's triggering. Look at how easy this is. If it has this tag, execute that action plan. Super simple, guys. That's easy enough. Okay. I like this. I like it. Okay. Every lead starts in a new lead stage. So when it goes into FollowUp Boss, you're going to think of FollowUp Boss more in stages instead of email blasting, text blasting. I lost this lead. I lost that lead. I don't know what to do. No. With FollowUp Boss, you're more thinking of when a customer comes in new lead stage, what is the goal? Well, in a new lead stage, we're going to talk about it. I want them to do this, this, and this. We're going to talk about that. And then if they don't get on the phone with me or they don't do anything, they'll go to a nurture stage. And in nurture stage, I want them to get at least a bare minimum of a couple emails from me a month. I want them to get properties every day, maybe get this, that, and the other. But I want them, this is what I want my long-term nurture to look like, because I don't know if they're ready to buy today, tomorrow, a year from now. I don't know yet. And they didn't answer my phone call. They didn't respond to my text, and they didn't respond to my email. So I'm going to put them into a nurture stage within 10 days. And I'm even going to set it up where they automatically move. So you have 10 days to move them from new lead over to nurture. If not, they go automatically. Okay, this is cool. I don't have to do anything when a new lead comes in. Meaning, we'll tell you that. But new lead comes in, I don't have to do anything. I follow my tasks. Nothing happens. They go over to nurture. I'm going to leave them alone. Now watch this. Your nurture stage is going to be growing. 10, 20, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 leads in your database getting nurture emails and properties. How do I know who to call? Dang. Okay. That was my raising the intensity here. Hopefully I did a good job with that, which I probably didn't. But check this out. We are going to use our FollowUp Boss system and Real Scout to their maximum, right? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell our FollowUp Boss, we're going to have 3 different levels of customer. Level 1, my active buyers and my active sellers. FollowUp Boss, if anyone is active in my system, move them to this stage. Okay. Now, I also want to know who's not active. Why would I want to know that? So that if they're not opening my emails, or they're not looking at property, and they haven't even looked at Real Scout once or done anything, wouldn't you think I'd want to reach out to them and maybe get the correct email address? Maybe I got the wrong, obviously we can't call them if we have the wrong phone number, but point is maybe they don't know what to do. Maybe they missed your initial text a long time ago, something. But the point is, if they're not active, we can at least try to get them to use Real Scout and get them to notice that you are sending them emails, or maybe your emails are going to spam. But the point is how cool would it be if your system is telling you these are your active customers and these are your non-active customers? And then you're going to do is in your phone call to your actives or not actives, you're going to have conversations with the right people about real estate. And anyone that is motivated and wants to buy real estate in the next, let's say 90 days, you're going to put them in your hot prospect list. And you're going to keep a close eye on those. Let me show you how we're going to treat each stage. So I want you to look more at FollowUp Boss as I just have to move my buyers and sellers through stages. A new buyer seller lead comes in. I'm going to try to convert it within 10 days. I'm going to set them up with this. I'm going to try to get them over to nurture. Well, they're going to go over to nurture if they don't do anything. Okay. They're going to get properties. They're going to get alerts. They're going to get emails. If they do stuff, they go over to my active. And I'm going to follow up with those because they're active. And if they're not active, I'm going to follow up with those 2. And then I'm going to keep a close eye on my hot prospects. And that's FollowUp Boss in a nutshell. And then you have these smart lists that you could put together if you want to do quick lookups, like who doesn't have an action plan, who's missing an email, where are my you could set up lists for just about everything. But for the most part, the way you're going to look at follow-up now is when a new lead comes in, and imagine if I gave you a marker board to write your notes on, and I said, what do you want to happen in new lead stage? And you're going to say, well, let's think about this. A new lead just came into my CRM. Okay. The new lead came in with the tag. Okay. New buyer lead, for example. I wanted to trigger the new buyer lead action plan where they get a text, they get an email, I get a note. It sends me a note with the lead information and what just happened. It just comes in the form of a text. If you notice, I'm not using tasks. And I'm not using them too much for a new agent, because if you're just using your FollowUp Boss system and I set up too many tasks. When you log in, you're going to have like 1,000 tasks, and all you're going to do is select all and delete them. And your follow-up's not going to happen. So what I would rather do is, if you notice, I'm just automating a lot of the basics for you. I'm giving you a note so you could choose to do it or not do it. And the only thing you're going to really put in the form of a task are your personal, like, I need to call this person in a month. I need to do this today. I need to do this for this customer in a month. But for now, there's not a lot of tasks because I don't want your task inbox to fill up. I thought about a lot of this stuff for you. Right now, I just want you to follow these basics to go to the next step, okay? So anyway, a text goes out, an email goes out, you get a note. All I want you to do, your part is you just have to make phone calls to these customers that just came in, new lead, and have a conversation about real estate. Ask them about Real Scout, not even ask them. Find out if they want to see property for sale. Where would you want to see? What city, what price range, and open that up for them so that every morning they're getting a nice email from you and it's just showing them property. Who doesn't want daily property in a format that they actually like looking at? And I don't know if you've seen lately, but the MLS, when it sends properties to customers, the experience is not as good. I mean, that's why customers will use Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com a lot, but those companies are pulling business from you. We do not want them on those sites if you're an agent. We want them on your site, and we want them engaging and asking questions to you. Okay, so we're going to have a conversation about real estate when you get a new lead, assuming they picked up your call or assuming they responded to your text. And our goal is to have a conversation and to set them up on Real Scout. Only two goals when a new lead comes in. No matter what, let's make this clear, guys. When a new lead comes in, whether you talk to them, whether you don't, whether they respond to your text or they don't, every buyer needs to get set up on a home search in their area based on their area code on their phone with a Real Scout home search, period. You have 10 days to do it. Lead now moves to the nurture stage. Automatically, it's moving. So in 10 days, the lead moves to nurture stage. And in this one, it's going to automatically send them 2 emails every month. They're going to get property alerts every day from Real Scout. And in this stage, you're going to do nothing from now. But one of two things is going to happen in the nurture stage, whether they're a buyer or a seller. They're going to, one, open emails and look at property. If you notice, I'm breaking this down into its simplest form. Like, agents are so scared to lose leads, or agents would rather even not follow up with leads than to put them in their CRM and lose them and look foolish or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, new lead, automatically move to nurture. There's nothing wrong with the customer getting 2 emails, just following up, just checking in with you, seeing how you're doing, asking them if they want to see property, seeing if they're using Real Scout. And we even put your Real Scout link in the nurture emails to get them back onto Real Scout. And then they get the daily Real Scout emails. Again, you do nothing, but they're either opening your emails and looking at property, or they're not opening your emails and they're not looking at property. But this is where 90% of your database is going to be. Now, whether you're using a Rolodex, whether you're using a CRM, whether you're using LionDesk, whether you're using Sync, whether you're using who knows what system, this is what your nurture stage looks like. Whether you have 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 contacts, the problem is, who do we call? That's the hardest part about working with the CRM. The whole point of it is to get them to move from a lead to, I want to do business with you. How do I move them from nurture over to getting pre-approved, jumping in, their car, going to look at property with me? How do I get them to call me so I could show up to their house and do a listing appointment? How do I even know who to call? Active buyer or seller list. Whenever a lead, this is what your FollowUp Boss system will do for you. Whenever a lead moves to active stage, you do not move them to active stage. Your FollowUp Boss system moves them to active buyer or seller. So when they move, and by the way, they don't stop getting the nurture campaign. They're going to still get the nurture campaign. That does not turn off. But what does happen is when the buyer moves to your active buyer or seller list, it just means that they had two triggers, or one of two triggers was triggered. One, if they look at a certain amount of properties that you program, FollowUp Boss will put them into the active buyer. So if they looked at 20 properties, they move to this list. If they save properties like, I like these 5 houses, I want to save them, or these are their favorite homes, that's a trigger. What it's gonna do in this stage is it's gonna trigger one email. And that email is going to say, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. So when they look at the 10th, 20th, or 30th property, it's going to automatically say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We noticed that you viewed homes online. That's great. Would you like to see more homes that you like? They're going to be like, sure. You just got a response. You just got a reason to engage in a conversation. You have an opportunity now, because instead of cold calling and randomly calling people, you now have a list of active buyers or sellers who did something. They looked at a lot of property, or they're starting to save property as their favorites, and it's now on a personal list for you, and you could reach out to these. Now let's think of what's happening, guys. Leads are automatically going into your CRM. They're going to your lead list or your stage. And every day you're going to call and follow up with new leads. Done. You're going to go and follow up with your active buyers and sellers. Done. You're going to follow up with your hot prospects. Done. And then if you still have enough time in your day, follow up with your inactive contacts. Done. I love it. In an hour, I just touched my entire database. My Facebook ads are getting in front of thousands of buyers and sellers every day, more than I could have ever done on a phone, more than I could have ever done door knocking, passing out flyers. This thing's amazing if you set it up right. Now let's finally go to not active. Again, if the lead is not active, and they've had no activity for the last 30 days, they go to this stage where you do call them up if you even have time to call these, because you're so busy with the busy ones and the active ones and your hot prospects, you may not even have time to call the inactive ones. Like, who cares about these guys? I have so many buyers and sellers who are active, engaging, and talking to me and responding. I don't want to call these ones. These are cold leads now. Shh. But anyway, either way, a lead automatic message will go out to these clients, and it'll say, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We notice that you haven't looked at any homes online in a minute. Would you like me to walk you through so you could see more homes for sale? Again, it's sending these type of messages to revive these ones on autopilot for you, because we don't want you to be spending your time here. Here's the best one. So now you call your new leads, and let's say you happen to call a new lead and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you called me. We can move that lead over to hot prospect. They skip right over everything and they're in hot prospect mode. Bam, I'm going to focus on you. I'm going to send you properties right now. We're going to go look at properties. I'm going to get you over to my lender right now. Hot prospect is a big category. This is where these are your hottest contacts besides leads, because this isn't a lead where we're not sure where they're at. These are ones you've talked to, they're active, and they say they're ready. You're moving them over to hot prospect. These are the ones you're calling, you're texting, you're updating their search filters. You're making sure they're seeing the homes they want. But here's another thing you're going to do. You're going to get a note that says, I've just moved this client to hot prospect. Don't forget to update their Real Scout so they're not just seeing properties every day. Make sure you've asked them if they want to see instant notifications. That means when a new listing hits the market, you don't find out tomorrow morning. You find out immediately. If something matches what you're looking for, I want you to see it immediately within 15 minutes of it hitting the MLS. Oh man, I would love that. So everyone in Hot Prospect is also getting instant notifications on your Real Scout. But these hot prospects are your buyers and sellers that you're going to keep close, you're going to keep an eye on, and you're going to call and text these ones at least weekly. Okay? So, new leads are coming in, guys. We don't know if they're ready to buy or sell right now. We don't know their motivation. We don't know if they're qualified, but a new lead came in. That is a blessing. That is awesome. That is the best thing. New leads came in and they gave that info to you. You're going to call them. You're going to text them. You're going to do your best to get them on the phone with you. If they do not, either way, within 10 days, they're going to get Real Scout and a Real Scout alert. And then in 10 days, they're going to move over to Nurture. They're going to get 2 emails from you, just keeping in touch every couple weeks. They're going to get property alerts every day. And one of 2 things is going to happen. Easy. This is the easiest way to look at your CRM. When a buyer is active, my system will automatically send them a message and put them on my active list for me. If they're not active, my system will know that and put them on a not active list for me. And when I speak to a client that's motivated and wants to move forward, I add them to my hot prospect list. And by the way, guys, you could create 10, 20, 30 stages if you want. You could go nuts with this thing. These are the basic stages of where you should start so that you could stop spending time with the wrong people and start making calls, setting appointments, and focusing on the right people. Now, let's say you say, wow, I got the hang of this, Al. Oh man, this works great. I get the hang of it. I'm converting my leads at a rate I've never done ever. This is great. I understand it. I thought I was old school. This is actually easier than what I was doing before. I thought I wasn't good with technology, but this is easy to understand. This works. I could do this. It is. And let me tell you, what's going to happen is when customers look up real estate, your ad's going to pop up, and the way we design it, and we'll teach you, or you could hire us to do, is that ad will follow someone around. Eventually, they're going to visit that landing page we built for you, and they're going to sign up for that home buyer guide or that no income guide or your seller guide or the list of homes or whatever it is we're trading for a lead. They're going to sign up for it, and they're going to give you that lead information. Eventually, that lead, well, not even eventually, instantly, that lead goes over to your CRM and it initiates a text, an email, and it starts your follow-up system, and they're in stage 1 lead. Your system's going to tell you who to follow up on. Is this an active buyer? Is this an inactive buyer? Is it a hot prospect? Is it a new lead? Every day now, you are no longer going to sit there and not know who to call anymore. You're going to call your leads. You're going to call your actives. You're going to call your hot prospects, and you're done. You don't have to feel guilty. Go on with your day, because your ads are getting in front of more people than you've ever prospected in your life. Your ads are generating leads for you. Maybe you have even a few lead sources. Maybe you're buying leads from realtor.com, Zillow, all these companies, Bowl Leads, Ylopo. You're feeding all these leads into your system because maybe you get it now, and you're like, what? You're going to get to a point where you're going to be like, I don't know why I wasn't doing this sooner. This is crazy. Now I know how teams are doing it. Now I know how that person's closing so much business. They're buying leads and they convert with their follow-up system, and they're not wasting time. If they have 1,000 leads, it doesn't matter because the system is telling you who are active and who needs a phone call. The system is telling you who's not active. The system is keeping you in front of the right businesses, so to speak, and helping you actually build relationships. And remember, you're showing up on their phone every single day if you wanted to. And when someone is ready to buy or sell, they're going to call the person they've been seeing on their Facebook every day. They're going to call the person that's been sending them follow-up emails, properties. This person's been answering my question whenever I click on the inquiry or I have questions. It goes straight to you. You can sell a lot of real estate, guys, regardless of what market we're in. You just have to set it up.